Now it's time to review the answer of trivia. The correct answer is B, Unreal Engine. Did you make the right guess? Unreal Engine has been at the forefront of virtual production since the first workflows began to emerge. Today, virtual production can influence every aspect of the production pipeline, including PUBG, mobile, Valorant, League of Legends, etc. Up next is a panel on the need for esports platforms, and we are very delighted to have Mr. Ray Ng, Manager Esports and Youth Team Hong Kong Cyberport, and we have Mr. Ray Ng here and Mr. Charles Fauchet, CEO, Loot Company Limited. Ms. Mellissa Kong, co-founder, Innotainment Group Limited, and also Mr. Paddy Markham, CEO, CAPSL. So now, without further ado, I'll pass the floor to Ray to kickstart the discussion. Ray, please.
So, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for tuning in for today's session. And today's topic is going to be like the need for esports platform. Obviously, the world, we have a gamers of population around 2.7 billion of gamers around the world, and just the Asia Pacific is like 1.5 billion gamers here. So it's very fascinating of the numbers of the players. And right now, although the esports competitive scene is rising, but right now the platform is only serving for the professional players. So your platform is actually tackling the amateur players. And for that, I would like to know more about how your business model and stuff and else. And before starting the whole session, would you like to introduce yourself first?
Thanks, Ray. My name is Mellissa, and I'm from Innotainment Group. I'm one of the co-founders. So Innotainment, we have a game engagement platform called REES, Real Esports Engagement System. So what we do is we connect game developers, players with brand and retailers. So what we're trying to do is to get more amateur players to play together, and at the same time being able to earn prizes and motivation that is sponsored by the brands and retailers. So in a summary, this is what we do. Yeah.
Great. Paddy.
Hey, thanks so much for having me here. I'm Paddy from CAPSL, the creators of Bash. Bash is a mobile esports platform that helps gamers connect and compete across any mobile competitive game.
Great. Well, Charles, your turn.
Hi, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here in this panel and to be with you today. Thank you, Cyberport. So I'm Charles, the co-founder of Loot, and in a nutshell, we make the organization of online tournaments automatic.
Great. Like I said, so how each of your platform is tackling the amateur players? Maybe Mellissa, you can share about your platform, REES, right?
Yeah. So yeah, we want to work with amateur players because, like you said, most resources are now for the professional players. So our platform is connected to games from game developers, where the scoring system is transferred to us automatically. So which means we can schedule events online, offline. You can play anytime, anywhere. And there's also a prize distribution system where we can put in whatever prize so that when at the end of the game, automatically you get a prize that you can go and redeem at any stores or online. So that's how our system works. Yeah.
So about Paddy, your platform, how do you engage those amateur players?
Yeah, it's a great question. So as I said, Bash helps gaming fans connect and compete. And competition is really driving mobile gaming adoption across greater Southeast Asia. You get gamers who are social gamers. They love to compete. They have like tribe mentality. They want to play with their friends from the social engagement part. But you also have gamers who they want to create a career in gaming. Now, that's a problem because there's something called the pipeline problem. And the pipeline problem, which is not just for esports, it's also for all sports, is specifically the question: how do you get people who are interested in the sport or interested in competitive play in this case, how to get them all the way through to becoming a professional athlete. That's an important question to solve because athletes bring in billions of US dollars annually through merchandise, licensing agreements, through all, and build this ecosystem around them. And traditional sports, they've solved this problem. If you look at baseball, for example, baseball, you have the little league where you get these kids who are super, super cute and they're like swinging the bat to like hit the ball. And then the next stage is the junior leagues and the intercollegiate competition. And that culminates in the World Series where you have professional baseball athletes. So there needs to be a solution for that for esports as well, and that's yet to be addressed. So where Bash comes in is because of our focus on connecting, on gamers and connecting and compete across any mobile competitive game, we're pretty uniquely positioned to help be that first set of stepping stones on the path for gamers who want to become professional players. Now, we don't solve the entire pipeline. There's no single silver bullet that does that. But what it does mean is that we're laser focused on competitive community play, amateur tournaments, and really showcasing, trying to highlight these amazing gamers, these talented gamers who are coming from the community. And you know, we have the Bash Open tournament on at the moment. Tomorrow is the finals where we've had over almost 2,000 players come through, and the culmination in 10 teams competing tomorrow in a live stream. And that's really instrumental in helping showcase and providing these acclamations to these amazingly talented gamers. And that's very much what we're focused on.
Wow, wow. It's a really great stepping stone for the amateurs to path to pro path. And how about you, Charles?
Thank you. Yeah, I think Paddy gave a really, really great answer. Just to support that, I also think if you compare to traditional sport, it's very important for the future of the esports ecosystem to bring that type of support that start with players from all levels. And so what, let's say if we compare to traditional sports, if we imagine that the only way to see competitive football would be through the Premier League, that would mean that there would be much less people engaged and the sport would not be as, as popular as when you have all these people playing from all levels, from childhood, school, and even myself, to be honest, I think there's still a lack in that area. I would be very happy to be part of a league for games that I love with 30 years old professionals like me that are as bad as me as playing those games, and I would really enjoy that experience. And the way that I see it is in traditional sport, you're going to join, your city club and maybe compete in a regional environment. What I think we do with Loot, for example, is to be kind of a online, we kind of recreate that online ecosystem. The difference is with esports being kind of online native, instead of just joining, competitions locally. As a player, you can engage in competitions organized by people from all over the world. Our approach actually is not necessarily to give tools for any games in the market, but we focus on very specific titles. And then we become very close with the community of these titles, and we're gonna organize tournaments with people, organizers in Europe, in the West, in Asia for the same games. And then we're able to connect those organizers and go to an international level of competitions. And on the other side, we also have a professional team. And when we can spot some talents in those tournaments, we can even take them to the professional level.
Great. Thanks, Charles, for sharing. So although three of you are also doing the esports platform, but as far as I know, your business model is quite different. So maybe, Mellissa, maybe you can share more about your business model behind Wings and how stuff works.
Okay, so we're taking it more as an entertainment approach. So it's like, playing sports, playing tennis on the weekend. You may or may not want to be a professional player, but you still want to play and compete with your friends.
Yeah.
So that's, what Reese is about, just, having fun with your friends and having this platform to bring in people with the same hobby. So our platform, we work with games of different genres, for example, MOBA, casual games, FPS, and various different games. Players come to our platform, they can select whatever they are interested in, and they play. The game could be a 5-minute game, It could be at a restaurant, could be at home. And we line up the platform with brand sponsors so that at the end of the game, the players get rewarded. So that kind of engagement or motivation is like fun watching Netflix, but the younger generation likes to play games. So this is like another type of fun that we're bringing to the ecosystem. Yeah.
Interesting. How about you, Pat?
Yeah, our focus is really on the communities, and to engage with the communities. The key group that we help solve the problem for are the organizers. So these organizers are grassroots entrepreneurs themselves. They're creating tournaments. They're super passionate about esports. They've grown their communities, targeted communities already, but they run into quite a few challenges. Namely, they're spending about 90% of their time creating these tournaments and handling the tournament logistics instead of doing what they should be doing. And that's focusing on the communities, growing their community, driving their community through the tournaments so that they can solve another pain point, and that pain point is sponsorship. So when you talk about sponsorship, you're talking about brands. And to get in front of our target market, which is Greater Southeast Asia, it's a very, very, very young demographic. And getting in front of that audience is extremely important for brands to grow trust relationships with them. So via Bash, we enable organizers to spend the majority of their time on growing the communities, and we connect them with the brands as well via our marketplace there. And we do that because we automate everything programmatically possible. I think Charles was also saying something similar from his side. That's very important. I mean, we've got organizers who are using Microsoft Excel to organize like a 100 team tournament or something like this, and it's just crazy. There's got to be a better solution, and that's part of why we built Bash. And we couple that also with, I've been in gaming industry for over 10 years. I used to work at Zynga up in Beijing, and my team are also in the games industry. And we're taking that culmination of experience in the free-to-play games industry and applying those best practices also to our platform, which is great because we're appealing to gamers that are already accustomed to the types of monetization models and the types of engagement best practices there as well. So that's what we're doing with Bash.
Yeah, great. Definitely monetization and sponsorship is a huge component in esports. You can see brands like Nike, BMW are getting into the scene. And due to the time limits, I would like to ask Charles for the next questions. So actually there are already some esports platforms like Battlefy are already existing in the market. But seems like they are not doing so well in Asia market. But how your platform actually can tackle that issue to launch an esports platform in Asia Pacific?
Yeah, I think that's a very, very great question, and that can be applied to other products and even other industries. The Asian market is very, represent a lot of segmented opportunities. You have a lot of different cultures, different languages to take into account, and even at the esports level, and I think Paddy and Mellissa can relate to that, the way you approach a certain community in a game, whereas another community in a different game, you're gonna have a different approach. So there's a lot of, it's very complicated for companies to crack that. I don't necessarily can pretend that, we can do much better than Battlefy. It's just that we have, I think, a slightly different approach. The thing is we don't necessarily offer a solution that's gonna be available for all the games, but we focus on particular games. And then we're gonna put more effort in connecting with, we're gonna connect with the community of that game at large, and then we're going to communicate with local actors in those games. So for example, we are connected, let's say if we take the game Clash Royale, we are connected to organizers in France, in Spain, in Japan, in Southeast Asia, in Indonesia, so pretty much everywhere. That's how I do it. And I think that's very difficult for a startups team when you need to, because it's hard to set up offices or, to have people in every key countries. So yeah, that's the way we do it.
Great. Okay, so Paddy, we talk about automatic. So right now the technology is enabling us to think about how we can make things automatic. So speaking about technology, we see a lot of partners or entrepreneurs trying to integrate technology into the esports platform. For example, like blockchain or doing some machine learning stuff. So what is your insight around that? How do you integrate automatic system into your platform?
Okay, I'll try and keep this brief because I could talk all day about this. So first, I think it's important to be wary about technology trends. So technology should add value. It should solve a problem. What problem is that technology solving? Is that technology specific to solving that problem, or other approaches? How scalable is it? So when it comes to us and the Bash platform, we knew very well the challenges of having tournaments across any competitive skill-based game, and what we needed to do in order to resolve those challenges at scale. Now, we don't have enough time and a large enough team and large enough resources to go knocking door to door to every single game studio or publishing company to get them to integrate with our technology. So we turn to a technology solution, and we have a very scalable solution there. We actually use computer vision machine learning to automatically extract match results in real time. It's pretty great. So I think when it comes to technologies, they have to solve a very clear problem, and you need to be very careful about identifying, is this the right technology that can truly scale with that technology, with that solution as well.
Yeah, similar to what Paddy was saying, that technology has to be able to solve our problem, and we just started Reese a couple months ago, and we already know that we have to get into blockchain because throughout the process we are distributing prizes, and then we're talking about expansion to Southeast Asia, so then payment in all these different regions is going to be a problem. So definitely that is something that we have to get into. Yeah.
How about you, Charles?
Yeah, similar to Mellissa, I think for the prize distribution, I can definitely see some applications with blockchain and cryptocurrency, because we have organizers distributing prizes, and if you want to distribute prizes, even sometimes small prizes, to incentivize a large number of players to engage in your tournament across multiple countries, if you do that with traditional payment system, it's very tedious, takes a lot of time, and very complicated and costly, so sometimes doesn't worth it. So having a digital currency is definitely essential. We kind of did that, but in a centralized way, and I think a decentralized way will be much better for players, as they could use that that currency outside of the platform. And the other things that we could see is with teams, for example, when players engage in a tournament as a team, there could be some smart contracts that would determine in advance how much of the prize of the tournament will go to the players and what will go to the owner of the team. So that's another example of application that we could see all on the platform.
Wow, definitely. And I think we are coming to the end of our session. Just to wrap up, today we talked about the esports platform in Asia Pacific, and I wish you all the best in evaluating your platform. And I know you are actually all hosting your tournament very soon. I wish you all the best and successful. So thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for the next session. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again, Ray, Charles, Mellissa, and Paddy, for the wonderful sharing on how esports platforms are facilitating the industry as well as opportunities and future development. Thank you for your sharing.